Friday was AMC's 16th consecutive day over on the threshold securities list. Now, I'm not going to hold it to it because this is definitely not a main catalyst. We were on the threshold securities list for quite some time. However, it does point us in the right direction and it does show us what is about to happen or what could be happening. Without further ado, guys, we have a lot of stuff to go over with AMC, so make sure to watch until the end of the video so you don't have to watch another update video here on YouTube. All I ask you guys to do, it's free. Please hit the like button if you find value out of the video or just want to help me out. Also, hit the subscribe button, join us on this journey to financial freedom, and make sure to have post notifications on so you guys don't miss another upload. Without further ado, let's get into the video. That is right, 16 consecutive days over on the threshold securities list, and you're only supposed to be on for 13 before it becomes a problem, but the SEC, of course, doesn't know how to do their job. In fact, the people with more money and more power than the SEC end up just outruling this or finding loopholes to get around it. However, like I said in the beginning, it could be pointing us in the right direction, which is exactly why I want to talk about the FTDs. If you take a look at the fails to deliver, for the latest time that we have, June 30th, there was almost 13 million in a single day, and there was a massive chunk here, and chunk here, and the FTDs have been stacking up the worst that they have ever stacked up. They have never gotten this high consecutively. Now, the only time it got really high was one day when they took the buy button away, when the FTDs hit 27 million back on January 27th of 2021, of course, when the buy button was taken away, but they couldn't deliver at that high price when the algorithms were pressing the stock. In fact, they had to take the buy button away. Now they can't deliver at around $4 a share. This is bad for short sellers. This is actually sad for short sellers that they brought it all the way down here and they still can't deliver at $4 a share. Apes aren't selling, nobody's selling, and there aren't shares in the market for short sellers to get out of AMC. And I know we've talked about it. Bear with me here because we're going to talk about what's happening behind the scenes around this and how it affects AMC. So global hedge funds have rushed to unwind bets that US listed stocks will fall as a persistent rally threatens their performance, according to JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. We recently went over this the other day. Short sellers lost 37 billion, and then we went over another article. Short sellers lost 120 billion, and the S&P 500 rally that's happening across the board is affecting their performance. In other words, short sellers right now, instead of playing the smart way, playing the rally, and they could have gotten out months ago, they're doing, okay, we're not going to deliver these. In fact, we can't deliver on a lot of these plays. We're just going to double down. We are going to dig the hole even deeper because we're absolutely fucked. That's basically the short answer that they have here. And it's not AMC anymore. This is where they're actually fucked. On an ETF, UVXY, 500,000 fails to deliver in one day. Seeing this on Boyle, a Bloomberg natural gas ETF, and the UVXY. Tons of fails to deliver stacking up in one single day. So it's not only AMC anymore. It's not this small mid-cap play that a bunch of retail jumped into. It's a legitimate ETF that they cannot deliver on. Plus, just to add a sprinkle on top, HYMC, which AMC has a stake in, also seeing an increase in fails to deliver for June. This market rally is really hurting short sellers, and the media is not pushing it out to the degree that they should be. But you guys have to know in your hearts that right now something can happen, especially when the AMC lawsuit goes through. Something can legitimately happen. We're seeing to where they can't even deliver back an ETF. Now, the short selling is probably the lowest we've seen on Interactive Brokers being reported. 0 shortable shares at Interactive Brokers at 1,014% cost to borrow. This is the rate that they are paying, and there are no shares left. Now, that's just one platform that we like to look at data from, and a lot of data is skewed. We also have Ortex, 28% short interest. Utilization sitting at 98.86, so it came down from that 100% once again. The cost to borrow average sitting at 955% for an average and 1,000% for a max. So short sellers are on average paying 9.5 times their position just to borrow against AMC, and they can't even deliver shares. The short interest risen a little bit on Ape, which is really weird, seeing how they may have to forcefully cover if that conversion goes through, sitting at 5.5%, still very low, and the cost to borrow is very low as well, sitting around 7%. Now, I don't know if the FUD is helping, but so be it. The Sound of Freedom movie has now surpassed 100 million domestically since launch. It's outpacing so many big budget woke Hollywood movies. So first of all, shout out just the movie being a good movie in general. I haven't seen it yet, but the concept of it, and I do want to go see it. So shout out that. But on top of that, just fundamentally doing well, even though all of the hate around this, all the skepticism around this and what's happening in AMC theaters, and there's just theories and conspiracies around this movie. And I think what's happening here is there's so much bad word about it that people actually want to go see it. It's kind of like when people tell you not to do something so you want to do it anyway. Like every high schooler that smokes weed, they do it just because you shouldn't do it. Like your parents say you shouldn't do it, so they just do it. This is kind of the same thing where everyone's like, listen, this is going to be a horrible experience if you go see this movie. The theaters are turning the AC off. The theaters are, doing this. And basically this is how it's going to affect you in a negative way. And you're like, well, I'm going to go see it anyway. Probably didn't have to spend that much time on that analogy, but shout out to the movie Sound of Freedom. Touching on AMC's chart real quick before we move on. We're trading at $4.36 as I'm making this video, up 0.7% on the day. And what I have drawn out is this little scale down before moving back up, moving higher, which is something very, very similar that we have drawn out with GameStop. And we're going to talk about that in a second. But honestly, I'm not 100% positive in this. Right now, I think AMC and GameStop are going to move when it's least expected. Everyone's going to have their TA lined up. Everyone's going to have their point of interest lined up at different spots on the chart. And this thing's just going to start, it's just going to start flying. Like literally when we won't even see it. This is my bet that it's going to happen. It's either going to open up at a very, very high price or it's going to start flying. Halting, flying, halting, flying, halting, flying, just halting to the upside until they can fish out shares. And when that does happen, just be aware that they may try. And, if you're going to become bankrupt and insolvent, they're going to try every tactic in the book. They're going to try to bring it back up to the highs that AMC hit right around $70. And they're going to see who's going to sell. See if they can fish out any shares over there. Just be aware, as long as us as a community don't sell at a single price. Of course, I can't tell you what to sell at, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But us as a community, if we hold to a higher price, we will get that higher price. It's just inevitable. Speaking of a higher price, we are still expecting AMC to get that 100% move that XRP just got. XRP is also flagging out and having a lot of green volume on these buy days, which looks really good. It looks like XRP is going to break out to the upside after this flag. This looks like it's going to be the last day for it, right? Tomorrow, it looks like XRP is going to break out one way or the other. I'm betting to the upside, even though it just had a 100% rally. And AMC should follow. Whether you like it or not, their charts correlate. They correlate back to back. They're almost the exact same chart, the most identical chart. And there's never a move to where they play inverse. And in fact, if that was the case, it wouldn't be 100%. A 100% move doesn't play inverse. If anything, it would be, 50% for AMC at minimum, if not that full 100. Now, XRP probably will keep rallying, in my opinion. Ripple says U.S. banks will want to use XRP cryptocurrency after partial victory in SEC fight. We recently went over that, but also multiple experts have predicted XRP will pump over 2,400% in the coming days, bringing its price to $18.50. You guys let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Are you in XRP, and do you think AMC is going to follow? Do you think XRP is going to scale higher or get dropped into the floor? You guys let me know in the comments down below. Also guys, if you want up to 16 free stocks, each valued up to $2,000 per stock, all you literally have to do, use my link in the description or pinned in the top of comments, download Moomoo. Once you sign up, open an account, and just make a deposit, it can literally be $1. You're getting some benefits from there. All you have to do is press my link, scroll down, and view the deposit criteria. So thank you, Moomoo, for giving my audience some pretty good benefits. Plus, it also only takes 2 minutes out of your day. Also guys, pop in the Discord. The link is right under the video and pinned in the top of comments with that Moomoo link. You guys won't regret it. Shout out to the people who just joined over the weekend. The weekends are relatively quiet, but we have a huge earnings week this week. We also saw some plays running that we dropped in Discord. Been a little bit late, but we're going to get it going this week for the new people in there. So just get ready to make some money. Also guys, I'm in there on the daily, so if you want to pop in there and talk with me, make sure to jump in there. We also have options trading alerts in there and more. Getting back to the video to close out the video with GameStop SPY and what we have to come this week. First of all, GameStop trading at $22.77, the same thing that we have drawn out for AMC, this little scale down with the gap higher, and then that shift up mid-August, mid to late August, right around August 17th to the 25th. That's the line we're looking at AMC and GameStop to have their major moves, and this would also track right behind the XRP chart, just a little bit delayed for AMC and GameStop. Also, GameStop's options chain, of course, like usual, is looking bullish, but these plays are going to do well if the S&P 500 keeps up what it's doing. 450.50 right now, up 0.26% on the day. It has 3 gap fills to the downside. Be very careful. At least 3 close gap fills to the downside, probably even 4 or 5 if you really look at them and add them up. So be very careful with the S&P 500. However, it broke above this ascending parallel resistance level, and it's basing on it as support. The SPY is looking for another rip. However, it is also at a major resistance. Same with Bitcoin and a bunch of other plays across the board. Do you guys think that we are going to fall out of nowhere, like a hard crash, or do you think SPY is going to rip for the next couple of years like he usually does? Also, to close out the video, key events this week: retail sales data tomorrow on Tuesday, building permit data on Wednesday, existing home sales data on Thursday, jobless claims data on Thursday, Tesla, Netflix, GS, and MS earnings, plus we have a ton of other bank earnings as well. 10% of S&P 500 report earnings this week, and we are also 10 days out from the Fed meeting. Overall, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching or found value out of the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Make sure to hit the like button on your way out, turn post notifications on, and share the video. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.